objective paper is concerned with respect to the physics and also with respect to this vectors. So first one, case number one, special case number one. If theta is equal to 0 degrees, if theta equal to 0 degrees, what does this actually mean? Here, if theta equal to 0 degrees means, what does this actually mean? If theta equal to 0 degrees means, the angle between the two vectors is 0. The angle between the two vectors is 0. That means that both the vectors are parallel to each other. These are important points. If theta equal to 0 degrees means the angle between the two vectors is equal to 0 and they are in the same direction and both these two vectors are parallel to each other. Both these two vectors are parallel to each other. This is very important point. Then what else if they are parallel to each other? If they are parallel to each other, it means that both the vectors are projected in the same direction. What I told while discussing the parallelogram law of vector addition, if the two vectors are originated from the same point, means both will be in opposite direction, both will be in different direction. But here if theta equal to 0, if theta equal to 0 means what? Both are parallel to each other and they are directed in the same direction. That is important objectives. So now, see now, if theta equal to 0, it means that vector A and vector B are parallel to each other. Parallel to each other, that's the first point. And second one is that, second one, they are directed in same direction. They are directed in same direction. This is so very important, ma. If theta equal to 0 means both A and B are in parallel to each other, both are parallel to each other and they are, the direction of these two vectors are same. So let us see now, this is 2 points which are very important, which you are supposed to keep in our mind. Let us see what happens if theta equal to 0. Let us see with respect to magnitude. The magnitude of R. What happens to the magnitude of R, ma? We know the formula for magnitude, that is under root of vector A square plus vector B square plus 2AB cos of theta. This is the magnitude. What happens if theta equal to 0? If theta equal to 0, we know that cos 0, what is cos 0? If theta equal to 0, if cos 0 equal to what? It is totally equal to 1. The value of the trigonometric value of cos 0 equal to 1. So let us apply this one. B. Since cos of 0 degrees equal to 1. Cos of 0 degrees equal to 1. If you see this one, this is nothing else but it is a formula for A plus B whole square formula. It is equal to A plus B whole square formula. Then mod R equal to under root of vector A plus vector B whole square. This square and the root will get cancelled. The square and root will get cancelled. Ultimately, you will be having only vector A plus vector B. Mod of vector A plus mod of vector B. It means what? Your R is equal to A vector. The value of this R equal to sum of A vector plus B vector. So listen here now. We have seen the two important points here. Whenever the theta equal to 0, both the vectors are parallel to each other. Other one, they will be having same direction. And one more important point. Whenever these two vectors, the resultant vector equal to sum of these two vectors, mod of these two vectors, then it means that is the maximum value of your resultant vector. That is the maximum value of resultant vector, which is equal to mod of vector A plus vector B. That's the sum of the two vectors. It is important value. The resultant vector will be maximum whenever you add these two vectors. Thus, whenever you do the sum of these two vectors, the resultant vector is maximum. Resultant vector magnitude is maximum. Resultant vector magnitude is maximum at vector R equal to mod A plus mod B. This is very important objective. Of resultant vector that is given by B sin theta over A plus B cos theta. So what is theta is equal to 0? If theta equal to 0, what happens? Sine of 0. Sine of 0 equal to 0. Cos of 0 equal to what we have got just now here. We have kept it is equal to 1. So what happens to this one? Therefore, mod R is equal to B into 0 over A plus B. Since sine 0 equal to 0 and cos 0 equal to 1. So that is equal to 0. It means that the direction of these two vectors is 0. What does this actually mean? It means that the direction of R equal to 0 means alpha equal to 0. The alpha equal to 0. If alpha equal to 0 means what does this actually mean? In whichever the direction the two vectors A and B are pointed, in whichever the direction the vector A and B are pointed, your resultant vector is also pointed in the same direction. That is the meaning of alpha equal to 0. Whenever the direction equal to 0 means in whichever the direction vector A and vector B are pointed, your resultant vector is also pointed in the same direction. Case number 2, theta equal to 180 degrees. Your theta equal to 180 degrees. Let us see what else if theta equal to 180 degrees. If theta equal to 180 degrees means your vector A and vector B are anti-parallel. That's the first point. Vector A and vector B are anti-parallel. Second one, they are in opposite direction. They are projected in opposite direction. Means they are moving in the opposite direction. These are very important 2 points. So let us see now the magnitude. The magnitude of vector A. The magnitude of vector A, just now we have seen the formula. The formula is vector R equal to under root of vector A plus vector B plus 2AB cos of theta. If cos theta, so what happens here? Cos 180 degrees. Cos 180 degrees, we know that it is sine of 90 plus 90, which is equal to sine 90 plus 90 is nothing else but it is minus cos theta. So cos 90 is equal to 1. So ultimately you will get cos 180 equal to minus 1. Okay, if you know the concept of all the quadrants, it is very easy to understand that what is cos 180. So cos 180 equal to minus 1. So ultimately you get the answer as mod A square. So it is what happens? Mod A square plus mod B square minus of 2AB. Since cos 180 degrees equal to minus 1. Since cos 180 degrees equal to minus 1. So this will be your magnitude of your vector R. This is the magnitude of your vector R whenever the theta equal to 180 degrees. If theta equal to 180 degrees, you will get the magnitude as under root of A square plus B square minus 2AB. A square plus B square plus minus 2AB. So this is nothing else but it is a formula of A minus B whole square formula. Then vector R equal to under root of A minus B whole square. A minus B whole square, square and root will get cancelled. So ultimately you will be having the vector R is equal to A minus B. A minus B. So now here one more important point. Whenever this R is equal to A minus B vector, it means that your result, the magnitude of resultant vector is going to be minimum in the case whenever you do the difference between these two vectors. If you do the difference between these two vectors, the magnitude of vector R is going to be minimum. When you add the two vectors, you are going to get the maximum magnitude. If you are going to subtract these two vectors, you are going to get the minimum magnitude. Therefore, the minimum magnitude of R, magnitude of vector R is obtained for vector R is equal to A vector minus B vector. So this is an important objective. The magnitude of vector r is going to be minimum. The magnitude is going to be minimum whenever you do difference of these two vectors. Whenever you do difference of these two vectors. The direction. The direction of vector r, resultant vector, we know that it is given by tan alpha equal to mod of b vector sine theta over mod of a vector plus b vector cos theta. Now see now, what is theta is equal to 180 degrees? If theta equal to 180 degrees, we know that your cos 180 equal to, just now we have found out, that is equal to minus 1 and sine 180 equal to 0. So now if you apply this one, then what happens to tan theta? Tan alpha. Tan alpha equal to mod b into 0 over mod a plus b into minus 1. Since it is 0 over here top, it will be equal to 0. Then what happens to alpha? Alpha value equal to, if you apply the tan inverse of this one, 0, then you will get alpha equal to 0 degrees or it will be 180 degrees. Alpha equal to 0 degrees or it will be 180 degrees. Okay, have you written this one? Alpha equal to 0 degrees or 180 degrees. So see now, up to now we have seen the alpha equal to 0 degrees or 180 degrees. So let us make some conclusions here. If A is greater than B, then your alpha is going to be 0 degrees. If A is greater than B, then your alpha is going to be 0 degrees. If that is 0 degrees, then what happens? Then how the direction of this resultant vector will be? The direction of resultant vector will be same as the vector with greater magnitude. Same as the vector with greater magnitude. So it means that what? Greater magnitude. It means that here among these two, vector and vector b, whichever has got the greater magnitude, in whichever direction that particular vector is moving, in the same direction your resultant vector also will move. The direction of your resultant vector will be in the direction of the vector which is having the greater magnitude among these two vectors. The next one, if vector A is less than vector B, then your alpha equal to 180 degrees. Alpha equal to 180 degrees. It means what? The direction of vector R will be in the direction of vector with smaller magnitude. It means that whenever alpha is equal to 180 degrees, the direction of this vector R will be same as the vector which is having the smaller magnitude. So if alpha is 0 degrees means what? Then the direction of vector R will be in the direction of greater magnitude vector. If alpha equal to 180 degrees means what? The direction of vector R will be same as the direction of vector with the smaller magnitude. Let us see the third case. When theta equal to 90 degrees. What is the formula? Direction. In order to find out the direction, the formula is tan alpha equal to mod b vector into sine theta over mod a vector plus mod b vector into cos theta. So if theta equal to 90 degrees, what happens? Then tan alpha equal to sine 90 equal to 1, cos 90 equal to 0. Therefore, mod b vector into 1 over mod a vector plus 0 degrees. Why? Because sine 90 equal to 1 and cos 90 equal to 0. If you do this one, what you get the answer? The answer will be b vector over a vector. Then tan alpha equal to B vector over A vector. This implies that alpha equal to tan inverse of vector magnitude of vector B over magnitude of vector A. Magnitude of vector B over magnitude of vector A. So this is the formula for finding out the direction of resultant vector whenever the angle between the two vectors A and B is equal to 90 degrees. Now let us find out the magnitude of resultant vector if theta is equal to 90 degrees. The magnitude of resultant vector if theta equal to 90 degrees. If theta equal to 90 degrees. So we know that the magnitude of the resultant vector has been given by the formula R magnitude is equal to under root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos of theta. So now here the theta, the angle between the two vectors A and B is 90 degrees. So now it becomes R magnitude R is equal to A square plus B square plus 2AB cos of 90 degrees. We know that the cos 90 is equal to 0. If cos 90 equal to 0, then we get R is equal to under root of A square plus B square. A square plus B square. So this is the magnitude of a parallelograms adjacent vectors, that is A and B, for the resultant vector. So this is the magnitude of the resultant vector, which is a resultant of two vectors which are adjacent sides of the parallelogram. So see now the next one here. What else if the fourth case, if mod A is equal to mod B, it means that if the magnitude of vector A is equal to magnitude of vector B, if that is the case, then what will happen to the resultant vector's magnitude? If this is the case, then your resultant vector is equal to 2A cos of theta by 2. 2A cos of theta by 2. This will be the formula for 2A cos of theta by 2. If magnitude of vector A is equal to magnitude of vector B, then the resultant vector will have a magnitude of 2A cos of theta by 2. It is nothing else but we can just put it in this formula. Under root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. Here if you put it as A equal to A, because both the magnitudes are same, so it becomes A square plus B square plus 2 times of A square cos of theta. A square here, A equal to B, so it is A square plus A square. So ultimately what do you get? 2A square plus 2A square cos theta. So take the common of this one, 2A square, under root of 2A square, 1 plus cos theta. So what is this one, ma? 1 plus cos theta. 1 plus cos theta is nothing else but under root of 2A square. 1 plus cos theta is 2 times of cos square theta by 2. It is 2 times of cos square theta by 2. So what happens? Ultimately this can be written as here mod R equal to under root of 4A square cos square theta by 2. So all are in the square. So you can write it as 2A cos of theta by 2. So this is how you got the answer of this one. If both the vectors are having the same magnitude, then the magnitude of resultant vector will be 2A cos theta by 2. So this is the explanation how this magnitude has become 2A cos theta by 2. See, and now up to now we have seen if the two vectors are having the same magnitude, then the magnitude of the resultant vector will be this one. Now see here, I'll try to draw that parallelogram again. So see now, if this is our parallelogram, we have told that yesterday the angle between these two vectors is theta, and the angle between vector r and vector a is alpha. Then if this is alpha, then the angle between vector r and vector b will be beta. So one important objective regarding these angles, listen here now carefully. If this vector is making some angle with these two vectors a and b, you are supposed to always keep in your mind that the vector r will be always tilted towards the vector which is having the greater magnitude. If a is having the greater magnitude, means the vector r will be tilted towards, it will bend towards this vector r, means the angle will be less between this vector a and vector r. If vector b is greater than vector a, means I am talking about the magnitude. If magnitude of b is greater than magnitude of a, then the vector r will move towards this vector b, means the tilting of this angle will depend upon, the tilting of this angle made by this vector r depends upon the magnitude of vector a and vector b. If vector a is having the greater magnitude, then vector r will be moving towards that vector a. If vector b is having the greater magnitude, then resultant vector will be moving towards that vector b, means I am talking about the angle made by vector r. That is an important objective. So now this is regarding the alpha and beta. Now let us see, we have found out the magnitude of this one. If a is equal to b, what happens to the beta and alpha? Alpha equal to beta, that is equal to theta by 2. That is equal to theta by 2, which tells about the direction, this tells about the magnitude. So from here, let us make some conclusions here. Let us make some conclusions. First one, if theta equal to 60 degrees, if theta equal to 60 degrees, what happens to vector r? Vector r equal to 2 times of a cos of 60 degrees by 2, that is equal to 2 times of a cos of 30 degrees. Cos of 30 degrees. We know that cos 30 is equal to root 3 by 2. Cos 30 is equal to what, ma? It is root 3 by 2. So root 3 by 2, if you substitute here, then vector r, the magnitude of vector r equal to 2 times of a into root 3 by 2. Then 2 and 2 will get cancelled. Ultimately, the magnitude of r will be root 3 times of a. This is an important objective whenever the theta is 60. It's a shortcut one. If the theta, in this case, if theta is equal to 60, then the magnitude of vector r will be equal to root 3 times of the magnitude of vector a. Then what about the alpha and beta? Alpha equal to beta equal to 60 degrees over 2. This implies alpha b equal to beta equal to 30 degrees. Next one is, what else if the theta is equal to 90 degrees? I am writing this value only for the few angles which are very important and which will be frequently asked in the objective papers. If theta is equal to 90 degrees, what happens to this one? What is the formula for magnitude? It is 2 times of a cos of theta by 2. That means it is 2 times of a cos of 90 degrees by 2. That is equal to 2 times of a cos of 45 degrees. If this is the case, then magnitude of r is equal to, we know that cos 45 equal to 1 by root 2. In the trigonometric tables, we have studied that the cos 45 is equal to 1 by root 2. Therefore, it becomes 2 times of a into 1 by root 2. And root 2 will get cancelled with 2 root 2 times. Root 2 will get cancelled with 2 root 2 times. Therefore, the magnitude is equal to root 2 of a. Whenever the theta is equal to 90 degrees, for the case vector magnitude of vector a equal to vector b, then the resultant vector's magnitude is equal to root 2 times of A, root 2 times of A. Now let us see for angle alpha and beta. Angle alpha equal to beta equal to theta by 2, that is equal to alpha equal to beta equal to 90 degrees is theta, so the angle will be 45 degrees. This angle alpha and beta will be equal to 45 degrees. See the case 3 of this same part. If theta equal to 120 degrees, then the magnitude of vector r is equal to 2 times of a cos of 120 degrees, that is equal to 2 times of a 120 by 2. Why? Because it's theta by 2. Cos of 60 degrees. Cos 60 we know that it is 1 by 2. 1 by 2. Cos 60 is equal to 1 by 2. 2 and 2 will get cancelled. So ultimately the magnitude of vector r will be equal to a. It will be the magnitude of vector a. So this is the magnitude of vector r equal to vector a if both the vectors a and b are having the same magnitude. Then what about the alpha and beta? Alpha equal to beta equal to theta over 2. That implies alpha equal to beta equal to theta is 120. So now here it is 60 degrees. Here 60 degrees. So this entire concept is regarding the fourth special case regarding the parallelogram law of vector addition. The fifth special case regarding the parallelogram law of vector addition. So fifth one. If these two vectors a and b are having the unequal magnitude, if mod of a is not equal to mod of b, it means that the magnitudes of vector a and vector b are unequal. Whenever the magnitudes of vector a and vector b are unequal, let us see what happens to the magnitude of resultant vector. Then the magnitude of resultant vector is equal to a minus b mod of a minus b, that is not equal to 0. It means that there exists some magnitude for the resultant vector. Whenever the magnitudes of these two vectors a and b are unequal, if they are unequal, then the resultant vector's magnitude is equal to mod of a vector minus b vector, that is not equal to 0. That is not equal to 0. Okay, now the most important, four important objectives regarding this parallelogram law of vectors concept we will be studying now. Next, sixth point. The minimum number of vectors with unequal magnitudes whose resultant can be 0 is 3. It means that if you are having a unequal magnitudes whose resultant is 0, whose resultant can be 0, then the minimum number of vectors required is 3. Three minimum vectors are required with unequal magnitude in order to make the resultant magnitude equal to 0. If you want a resultant vector's magnitude that is equal to 0, then the minimum number of vectors with unequal magnitude should be 3. 3 are the minimum number of vectors which are required in order to make the resultant vector's magnitude 0. Then the seventh one, the minimum number of vectors with equal magnitude whose resultant can be 0 is 2. It means that if there are two vectors with equal magnitudes, then that particular vector's resultant can be 0. This is for their vectors with equal magnitude. In order to make the resultant 0 is two vectors. We require two vectors which are having the equal magnitude. In order to get the resultant magnitude has value equal to 0. So these are very important objectives. The minimum number of vectors with the unequal magnitude, in order to make the resultant vector's magnitude 0 is 3. The minimum number of vectors with equal magnitude, in order to make the resultant vector's magnitude 0 is 2. Okay, now let us see the next special case point regarding this coplanar, what is that, parallelogram vector. The three vectors whose resultant is 0 must be coplanar. It must be coplanar. All the three vectors has to be coplanar. Coplanar is nothing else but if there are three vectors like this, vector A, vector B and vector C, if all these three vectors are originated from a same common point, then we call these vectors are as a coplanar vectors. Irrespective of whether the vectors are having the equal magnitude or unequal magnitude, and again irrespective of whether the vectors are projected in the same direction or different direction. But the point is that if it is a coplanar means these vectors has to be originated from the same common point. That is a coplanar meaning. Then next important point is that if the vectors are non-coplanar, then the minimum number of vectors whose magnitude of resultant can be 0 is 4. If the vectors are non-coplanar, then the minimum number of vectors required in order to make the resultant magnitude 0 is 4.